What? Looking like some sort of badass duo here. Welcome back, my DIY nomads. I hope all of you guys are doing really, really well today. Another day begins in the £1,000 van conversion, and I have some absolute corkers for you today. I've been missioning through Gumtree, eBay, everywhere to source parts, and do I have some beautiful bargains to show you guys. So let's go through with those right now. So let's start off with what you know. Managed to get this roll of the double bubble foil insulation, and then after taking everything out, I realised the floor was very rotty and horrible, and this is all, like, honestly, if you just take a flathead to it, you can peel away at the layers. No good at all. So that's out. That's all the flooring for the bottom. The wheel arches were also suffering quite a bit. I thought they were salvageable, but they're not. Roof rack's off, but the grand thing is I managed to find some flooring. So I was thinking of trying to work out with the budget to get a bit of ply for the floor and then maybe even for the roof. But mein Gott, is plywood expensive these days? For a 12mm sheet, I was thinking 12mm, apparently that's 9mm, so I could have got away with 9mm. But we're looking like nearly 30 quid, and that's for a good deal. I'm sure you could probably hunt out better deals somewhere else, but that was just from like Wix, I think it was. Can't afford that. So, went into Gumtree, and I found this oak laminate flooring, like dark oak. I know it's dark, so it's going to look a little bit like dark inside of there, but 10 quid, and I can completely cover the whole floor with this stuff after I put the battens in. This also means that I can get the battens for quite cheap and then put the insulation on, and it will work out really well. I'm going to have to buy the battens fresh anyway, so that's something that's just going to have to come out the budget, but luckily battens are quite cheap. Next on the list, a camping stove. Another Gumtree find. £5 for this beauty. So put a little canister in here, close her up, lock her up, and then you turn it on, click it all the way around, you're good to go. Cooker. I've also seen another one on Gumtree for £5 that I'm going to try and pick up, so I have 2 hobs so that I can make a cup of tea while I cook food or cook pasta and something else on this at the same time. Yeah, great find. And the piece de resistance. Oh, look at this! Look at the size. This is bigger than the sink in my Peugeot Boxer. Look. That is a huge sink, and this sink, Gumtree again, cost me £15. Sink like that would usually cost you like 90 quid, maybe even 100 quid. Boom. So some absolutely cracking deals there. I've got an empty van. I just need to get a couple of battens, some pipe work. I'm going to go get a few odds and sods just to tie up all the loose ends from B&Q. But apart from that, we've got an empty van, we've got insulation, we've got wood for a bed, I've got a mattress over there, so we've got sleeping in a van done. I've now got a cooker, so I can cook food, which is great, potentially 2 cookers, and I've got some gas canisters coming on the way. I've got a sink, so I can have running water, which would be fantastic, and I've got my water tank in the shed. So I'll have a camper van with a comfy bed, cooking facilities, lighting because the fairy lights, power to power my phone from my extender. It's looking good. We are really on track now. I'm feeling a lot more positive about the 140 quid budget, and I still actually haven't used my power tools yet, but really we've only got an empty van and we need to get started, so let's get cracking on this van. Look at this, guys. I know that dark brown might not be everyone's taste, but this is the card I've been dealt. This was the cheapest stuff I could find, and I couldn't care less. I think it looks fantastic. What I've done is I've just roughed it in at the moment. I'm not even going to bother cutting off that little MDF edge there. It's just, I don't really need to, because the plastic body is going to basically cover over that bit as well. This side, as you can probably tell, they're not very long pieces. I'm not even going to bother filling in that gap there either, because the bed's going to be over there and you're never really going to see it. It won't be an issue, and the plastic will come up to a certain edge, so there's no point in putting loads of extra effort just to fill in like a couple of inches. But it looks epic. So now what I need to do, take this out, insulate the van, put it all back in, and we are good to go. So next up, we're going to insulate this. I cut 4 lengths of 165 centimeters worth of that roll, which should do the whole way around, which would be very useful. So let's get taping. Oh, by the way, just so you guys know, throughout this whole series, I'm including the price of obviously the tape, screws, everything like that. So when I come to the final budget, you'll see that I have included everything. The only thing I haven't included in the price are the hand tools. So, just so you guys know also, I basically bought everything and I am down to, I think it's £7.90. So, don't really know how I can be a bit more luxurious, what I could do with £7.90, but we'll see. I'm also, funnily enough, using the Stanley blade that I found inside here. So it's actually really sharp and actually basically brand new, which is really useful. Well, boys and girls, the aliens officially can't read my mind anymore. Boom. It is foiled out. I still need to do the roof, I must admit, but we've got it all in here. It just needs to air out a tiny bit. I've even got the black plastic, the grey plastic on the sides here. It's all plugged in nice. It's come together really, really well. So now I'm going to put in the floor, which means that I can go in and out of here without worrying about popping any more of these little bubbles by kneeling on them. Oh my god. I've got insulation all the way around now. I really do love this insulation because it's so space saving. As long as you give it an air gap, preferably on both sides, but at least on one side, so that it can actually do its job. It works very effectively and it takes up basically no space whatsoever. It might not be as good as other insulators, but I don't really care because I got it for free and this is a £1,000 van conversion. The also very useful thing that I realised by getting this roll, particularly this insulation for this project, is that when I'm going to be sleeping in the van, there's a big amount of glass up front. I've still got a huge amount left over there. I'm going to use it to make myself a windscreen cover, a thermal windscreen cover, so that I can be out of view from everyone outside, while also keeping it insulated from the inside. This is my favourite part of any van build now. We basically got the walls in, I just need to put the ply up on the top bits, but we've got the floor in, and now this is a blank canvas for me to start properly building stuff. As you've seen before, I'm going to be building most of the structure out of those blue and red pallets. Now, someone mentioned about the possibility of them being toxic using the dyes and the ink, so I'm going to seal it with a type of wax so that doesn't potentially leak out any bad stuff. But really, now it's time to get to the exciting bit. So if you're not subscribed, click the subscribe button because you're going to really enjoy following this along in the series. But yeah, really, it's now going to get going. I've got just over a week before I head to France, so I can't be dilly-dallying around too much. But thank you so much for watching all my DIY nomads, and hopefully I will catch you all next week.